medium is video art, and I did a performance piece that was exploring anxiety and how people experience it, how it makes you feel. I kind of wanted to convey that. It was from a personal experience, and I wanted to relate to a lot of other people that experience it also. It's not like a regular class, where you're given an assignment and they say, okay, it's going to be about this, and here's your theme, and you kind of go with it, and then you have a 2-week due date. This is, because it's not structured and it's in your own process, it can take longer or shorter than it normally does.
It was on wood, so the canvas, it was wood.
Okay.
The surface, everything was wood, and then I used magazine cutouts and glue. That is pretty easy. It's vampire romanticism. I know as funny as it sounds. That was the main focus for my piece. Narrow down the idea. It took me a while. It really did. I knew I wanted it to have something to do with that term, vampire romanticism, but what to do with it, I was completely lost for quite a few weeks. I got a little bit behind because of it. And then I finally nailed down what I wanted to do and started working. And then people ask me that, how many hours did this piece take you? I have no idea, because it was over several days and hours, and it was a lot of time.
So for this show, I decided to take my experience from climbing and put it into an installation, and focus most importantly on the line, which without anything to climb or any route or path to take, climbing can't exist. So the line is like representative of that. And like just the fact that when you go out to climb and you have to find a route to take, you're not sure if it's going to be possible or not. And so whether you can get through the space or not is really the goal. And so you're trying to figure out if it's possible and if you can get to the top, really. The most challenging thing is to, I have about 80 ropes that I use at 150 feet each, roughly. So the hardest part was getting everything in and organizing all the ropes. I had to separate them all out, separate all the gear, flake everything so that they were all organized from top to bottom, each rope. And then I had to start installing. And once I got all the ropes up, it was about 60 pounds to lift.
My project was on anti-smoking. I used like a fine art kind of photography to show how media contradicts itself with the sexy photos and the Surgeon General warning. And I based it off of, I had an uncle and a grandfather that both died from lung cancer, so I kind of wanted to play on that a little bit. I wanted to go for a more like film noir style.
Okay.
The contrast of the lights and the darks was kind of like a menacing type thing, because that's really how I feel about smoking. It's just bad. Realizing my ideas for each shoot, I think, was the most difficult for me. Trying to find different backgrounds and things, like settings for my photos, was probably the hardest part for me.
The main reason why I chose this style of work is because it's a self-portrait of a timeline of the last 8 years of my life, and so these paintings are each an individual significant event that happened in my life. Well, painting is the medium that I chose here when I was at Oakland. I was an illustrator before when I was at the College for Creative Studies, and so I wanted to try and fuse both elements of what I did as a designer, so I have the illustration and the painting together. The toughest thing was trying to get all the paintings that I wanted to get done, because I set a goal for 40 paintings at the beginning of the semester, and it was like the last week that I had to crush in and another 6 or 8 paintings done, and one of those paintings made it, so it's just kind of funny. I picked 10 or 12 different paintings, and those were what stayed, so that was kind of the challenge for me, was getting all the work done.